Good morning, my ladies and gents. It is the first video of the new year. I think we're going to plan on making this the trailer because we wanted to fill you guys in on what we have coming up this year and basically what the channel is going to be about. You're watching the vlog that's about living my life with chronic illness. You're watching my lady life, and of course I'm out of breath. So it's already been kind of a long morning. Unfortunately, Corin has started waking up again at like 3 a.m. and this morning he was stirring a lot, and by 4:40 I was wide awake just from all of the sleep disturbances. So you can hear I'm kind of out of breath. My whole body's exhausted, but hey, I was able to shower, get myself dressed, and hair and makeup. So that's already a win. It's been kind of a long morning already, and it's only going to get longer from here. We're actually right about to get into the car so we can go out and do labs. Unfortunately, I've been having a lot of flares because of this whole pandemic situation. I haven't been treating those flares, so we're going to go in and get my ANA and my titer scores checked just to see what my immune system is doing and if it would benefit me more than not to go ahead and start on some form of immunosuppressant, like prednisone or maybe another round of intravenous steroids if it's that bad. But hopefully it's not, and we'll check them out. And it's just, there's a lot going on. Also, the whole point of this video is to try and tell you guys what we have going on or what we have coming up next. And this year, we actually have a lot. Everything from moving to Corin and what's going on with him. If you guys have been around for a while, by the way, welcome back. Hi. You know that we think Corin might actually be autistic. That testing is coming up this month. In fact, it's supposed to be in a matter of weeks. Then, of course, we're still moving out of this apartment and we are all set to go. And there's been a couple of hiccups in that, as well as looking for a home and if we're going to go and do that early. And then, of course, I've actually entered full retirement. There's just a lot going on and I got to get going to the VA. So how about I fill you guys in the car? So as I was saying before, we ran out of the house this morning. Really, today's video, we wanted to try and tell you guys what to expect on the channel. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Again, I'm in the car. I also have what I wanted to talk to you about on my cell phone, just because, again, I've been having flares. It's been a little bit difficult, and life is getting harder, especially since this year we are going to be moving out of state. We're doing an out-of-state move, and we're going to be sharing that with you guys. We're going to be house hunting, which we're really excited about. I'm fully retired. We're facing the reality that our son might actually be autistic, which we still won't know for another couple of weeks, or we won't even start testing for another couple of weeks. We're also trying to conceive a baby this year, and that comes with its own set of issues because of my PCOS, diabetes, autoimmune disease causing issues with my organs, and well, my weight. So we have a lot going on with the channel this year. So to start our move, as those of you guys who know us or kind of know the situation, we moved 3 years ago from California to Colorado Springs, Colorado, because at the time you could afford to buy a home. Unfortunately, we were not the only transplants out of California that had this idea. So we will be moving away and leaving my family behind simply because of cost of living. It sucks. It's not what we wanted, but it is the reality of the situation. When we moved here, you could still find a few homes around the $150,000 mark for a starter, which was what we were planning to do. And now for a starter home, you're looking in the mid 400s, low 500s, and that's just not something we could feasibly do. We are actually kind of out of options for where we have family, simply because where all of our family live are major cities or expensive states. Anyway, we're almost to the VA. I just need to run in and get labs, and then I'll kind of explain to you the medical side, the retirement side, and the trying to conceive a baby side after I get back out. I think when I went into the VA, I was talking about, you know, my health and where we're going to be this year. So with the move, I have to get vetted all over again into the VA system and the next state over. Not to mention the VA finally kind of came through, but we're still hoping to get pregnant this year. So with the move happening at the start of the year, we're still going on with that as it's supposed to be. Right now, as I understand, the labs that I had that we did, we're checking for my inflammation scores. I think we're also checking on my kidneys, simply because my kidneys this past year has shown signs of wear. And my liver, well, it's kind of all been an issue since the military. Some people say it's because of the medications I'm on, which is funny because I actually went off all medications for a while just so they could get accurate labs. And no, my liver has always had increased enzymes. It's just slowly but surely over the past nearly 2 decades gotten worse, and the kidneys kind of go back and forth in function, which is the reason why we haven't gotten the go-ahead yet to try to conceive again. We have been referred off to infertility. Infertility basically said the VA needs to do some more testing before they'll even consider triggering an ovulation, which is my problem. I have PCOS. That's kind of what the diabetes is. I mean, the diabetes is actually a family thing, but because of PCOS, apparently it happened a little sooner than it was supposed to. Between all of that, the infertility clinic was very hesitant. They're like, you need to figure out what's going on with your back. You need to figure out what's going on with the the autoimmune disease. You need to figure out what's going on with diabetes. Well, we figured out what's going on with diabetes. I'm diabetic, period. That's all there is to it. But I do have my A1C down to a 6.3. And I'm pretty sure she was checking that again today as well, just to make sure nothing has changed. I'm on metformin to help regulate that. And I do know for people with PCOS, sometimes all they need to do is go on metformin. Unfortunately, in my case, I also have incredibly low iron and incredibly low vitamin D. I can go out into the sunlight, but again, sunlight seems to give me headaches and make me nauseous, as well as sometimes I break out in rashes. So I have to limit myself to that, and I eat things high in vitamin D, I eat things high in iron, and it takes a combination of like all of my prenatals, all of the extra vitamins, eating that way just to keep myself above bare minimum. So it is what it is. You obviously too, from what I understand, when your body is not working correctly, when you are dealing with diabetes and you're having high blood sugars, when you have really low vitamin D, when you have low iron, it can prevent pregnancy. So we are trying to balance that out and hope that we don't need to trigger an ovulation, because if we do, well, we're having a hard time getting medical clearance. So that's where we're at on the trying to have another baby. Obviously, with the vlog, I'm going to be doing my best to tell you guys and keep up with what that is like to have PCOS and being chronically ill, and then also have to rely on your medical team to help you conceive. And I'm so sorry, I just realized the lighting keeps changing because, oh no, we're not doing that. The lighting keeps changing because we're driving. So I think I'm actually going to get home to finish this because it's just weird. Like, it's weird. Starbucks looks so tempting right now, and that air feels good. Alright, we've taken a pause for a moment while Brad goes to get gas. Hold on, let me see if I can. There we go. So the last thing I was telling you guys about is this whole trying to conceive thing. With the 2 different states, I mean, here alone in Colorado, we already have to be seen by a civilian provider. So I don't know how it's going to go when we move to, well, we're not exactly sure if it's going to be the corner of Oklahoma, the corner of Missouri, the corner of Arkansas, and the corner of Kansas. It's as close as I can get to where we're actually going, because we haven't made a final decision yet. So I'm nervous about that, and I guess if you're watching the vlog, you'll kind of see how that goes from here. By the way, we do Throwback Thursdays sometimes on the channel because I'm not always well. I can't guarantee that I'm going to open up the camera every week and we have like a plethora. Brad sounds like he's done right now. We have a plethora of old videos that I'm hoping Brad's going to end up editing and get up onto the vlog for what we call Throwback Thursdays. And those will probably be of my pregnancy with Corin and kind of what happened after. With Brad being done, I think I'm going to hop off here and I'll continue to fill you in on, well, I guess Corin. We got home and Corin is not having life right now. But again, for those who've been around for a while, you know that we are looking at the possibility that Corin might be autistic. There's some times where we have hope, but the fact that he is still not speaking and we have full-on meltdowns over we don't even understand or know. Sorry about that. Anyway, Corin is still not talking. He's still not trying to communicate with us. No matter how many times we sign, we say the exact same phrases over and over and over again every single day per routine that he has. He seems to do best with routine. But you can hear him kind of right now doing his version of talking. It's all he does. We've been in speech therapy now for over a month and a half with no real improvement. I mean, we were hopeful because one day he said no, randomly out of nowhere. Like he wasn't even talking to anything that we know of. But that's about it. Sometimes he'll say mama, and then I think it's been about another week and a half since he's said any word whatsoever that or anything that resembles a word. Our testing for him is supposed to happen mid-January, so actually in a week. I've been thinking 2 weeks, but it's actually in a week he should have his first occupational therapy appointments, followed up by a round of different appointments testing for autism. As far as how I'm doing with it, because I know a lot of people, when I got pregnant, they're like, how are you going to be a mom and be chronically ill? And I'm like, I'm doing it. Obviously, you can see I'm holding my child right now. Autism wasn't even one of those things that I was worried about. I mean, I was worried about many different things, especially because I was 34 when I got pregnant with him. It's one of those things where you never know what's going to happen. Of course, we hoped and prayed for the best. We still are. He could just have a delay, and we're okay with that. We're doing what we need to. Sorry, the child just figured out how to turn off the camera. Anyway, yeah, no. And see, and that's the thing. Sometimes I know he understands us. And other times it's like we can't seem to get through to him. He definitely does not respond to his name. Like most 2 years olds, he is throwing a tantrum, so we don't know if what he's... I mean, one of the times I know he's had a meltdown before bed one night, but that's really the only meltdown that we had, like legitimate meltdown. The rest do seem to be tantrums. So we're just staying hopeful that we just have a 2-year-old, like a normal 2-year-old who has, unfortunately, speech delay, and we will work with that as the years go on. But if it is autism, obviously we're going to be sharing that a lot on the vlog. Even if it's not, we'll share what the signs that we were seeing, that the speech therapy was seeing, and what got everyone to the point where it's like, okay, he needs to be tested. And if it is, life goes on. I mean, I'm chronically ill myself. I know it's not the exact same thing, especially in our case, it's not the exact same thing. But I do have my husband. He is home full-time being the caregiver, and we're hoping that if he's autistic, it's mild. I mean, he's a good child. He's a sweet child. We obviously don't want to give him back. We're glad we had him. If he's autistic, it's just going to be one of those things where, like anything else in this life, I'll find my way. We'll find our way. It's 10 a.m. right now at this point, so I feel like it's already afternoon. I've been up since like 4 a.m. and I'm kind of everywhere and feeling wonky. So I'm going to jump off here again for a little bit and then kind of catch up with you guys, hopefully when I'm doing better. And if not, and I realize that I'm just going to be tanked out for the rest of the day, I'll try and jump back on to finish this out. So what have I covered already? Sorry to be repeating all this all over again, but I'm like brain power work. I've covered the move. I've covered house hunting. Again, that's to come in the months ahead. Of course, Corinne's evaluation for autism, trying to conceive another baby. Last but not least, with this year, I'm officially retired. I'm planning on doing a whole separate video to the unexpected emotions of being retired early. Of course, I wanted to retire. Of course, I wanted to retire early. I just did not know that this was going to be the way it happens. This year ahead, I also need to do something for me in dealing with reality that is and that has been, and again, just having to go through the emotions of it all over again. The way I stay focused, the way I stay centered, has always been through music. It's the one thing that I've always had for myself, and even though my voice is kind of being destroyed by my chronic illness, unfortunate side effect. For those of you who've been watching the vlog for a while, also know that I am involved with a music program called Rock for Vets, which I actually will be jumping off of here soon to go and do our Monday meetings, our Music Mondays. I would like to dedicate my first year in retirement for my free time, the time that I'm taking to learn, because you can still do that for the most part. Again, brain fog, not fun, but there are times where I'm available to myself, and in those times I plan on studying music theory. Yeah, that's really what's going on now. That's the plan, that's the idea. Saying all that, like I said, I gotta get going, but I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet liked this video, as I said before, Brad is the whole reason anything is getting going. And not only does it help us in the algorithm, but it's just a way of saying thank you to Brad for doing everything he does. My husband is an amazing man most days. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful morning, a wonderful evening, and a blessed afternoon whenever these vlogs should find you. We hope you guys keep watching, and we'll see you later. Bye!